special non-mobile edition of GameWalks today.
Yeah,
because it's raining outside.
It's raining, and we're afraid the iPhone's going to get destroyed.
Yeah, so what does that say about our podcast? It's called GameWalks, and 1/3 of the episodes are completely immobile.
Yeah, I don't think we thought this through. It's
thankfully it doesn't
out.
rain very much here in San Francisco.
Not in Soma,
should be all right.
Doing pretty good.
All right, so what are we talking about today?
What's happening? Obviously, the big JR news was yesterday. News continues to roll in about that. EA stock crashed today, so obviously some people are concerned about it.
Well, I mean, along with the resignation was also the comment that they were not going to hit their financial goals for the fiscal year. So I think that overshadows it.
Doesn't make investors very happy.
But enough about gaming news. Let's talk about games. We both finished Starcraft 2 this weekend.
We did finish Starcraft 2. What do you think?
You know, I love the Starcraft franchise, and I hear your criticism and the criticism of other people that the story did not deliver.
I thought Wings of Liberty was better. I thought it was still fine for an RTS story. I mean, RTS is not the easiest genre to tell a story in. But I just feel like there were way more character development, way more cool side stuff you could do, like in the bar in Wings of Liberty with the arcade machine and the newscasts and all the trophies you got on the wall. Yeah. Like, there was just a lot more stuff that kind of filled the world in Wings of Liberty.
Yeah, I was going to give them a little bit of slack and say it's an expansion pack, it's fine. And I think that's fair to say, fewer missions is fine. But you're right, they had a bunch of stuff in Wings of Liberty that, obviously that tech was there. Like, they could have had different plaques that you put up in trinkets and mementos.
Yep.
One of the biggest things that was missing for me was the idea of player choice actually mattering in the game.
That's true.
In Wings of Liberty, you had the choice as to whether you wanted to save the Terrans or help the Protoss on that medical mission. Yep. And you either get Dr. Hansen to join you or she turns into a Zerg. And that was cool.
And there's like the Nova decision between the...
There were 3 or 4 decisions like that.
And, there were times in, Heart of the Swarm where Kerrigan was kind of going through in her head, do I want to, do a bad thing or do a good thing? And I
absolutely agree with that.
I kind of wanted to make that decision. Like, I wanted to be bad Kerrigan, actually the Queen of Blades at times, and then... maybe in the second playthrough, be good Kerrigan and see how that turns out.
Very minor plot spoilers. At one point at the very end of a planet's arc, you have the option to either destroy the population of that planet or not destroy the population of that planet. That seems like the type of point where, Blizzard was expecting to have 2 missions. One mission is, you do the bad thing, and one is you do the good thing. And that's what it would have been like in Wings of Liberty. Do you think they just ran out of time and they had to cut that mission?
I can't imagine them running out of time. It took them 2.5 years.
It's just really interesting that they would set it up that way.
So it might have just been...
Have that moment of so much player control and then take it away from the player. That's really surprising that they would choose to do that.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to ask some friends.
And it happens again at the end of the campaign when they're like, don't land near the civilian center, so many people will die. That seems to be like, so I could either go the easy way and sacrifice all the people and play where I start a little bit closer, or I could choose to try the harder thing, and that would be a cool player choice moment, but they took that away from me.
I thought the gameplay was great, mission design was great.
Yeah. What was your favorite mission?
I got a sweet spot for space stuff, so I actually like the mission where you have the battlecruiser. And you're kind of going through the asteroids. It's just kind of a simple break and kind of your standard RTS stuff. But I like the mission where you have to spread the creep around.
Yeah, I thought that was a really clever mission. It's like a big part of Zerg gameplay that a lot of Terran or Protoss players don't realize is the importance of creep and having it everywhere. And that's a mission that teaches you, basically forces you to spread creep all over the entire map.
It's funny because after playing through the campaign, I feel like I could actually take Zerg into multiplayer and try something compared to Wings of Liberty. I had no idea what anything on Zerg did. So I think it did a really good part of teaching me the
gameplay is, of course, very different.
It is, but I actually understand what a unit does and how it might fit into the combat chain a little more.
Yeah, just the concept of a hatchery instead of production structure.
Yeah, exactly.
Basic stuff.
So,
that was cool.
I think it's set to be a short one, so I got to go catch the train.
Cool.
But,
Heart of the Swarm worth playing.
Starcraft. Absolutely worth playing.
Yeah,
and I think we're going to do a LAN party on Friday.
Yeah,
play some Starcraft. So, any friends who are watching, get online, and we'll do another one tomorrow.
Okay, rock and roll. That's abbreviated GameWalks.
See ya.
Talk to you later.